their list brokerage, they have 1,000 people in their corporate headquarters. They sent everybody home. Had the next day they had a drive-through, and everybody lined up in their cars, and they handed them a computer and a kit package so they could work from home.
All right.
And this guy I was talking to, Brian, he sounds like he's probably 30-ish. We haven't met face to face. And he's going, it's been fine working from home. It hasn't changed his workflow. But he said, I'm just really looking forward to getting back to the office because my dogs and cats are getting tired of me. So he misses the
Yeah,
social.
that's a good one. Yeah.
But I wonder, if you've got, how much of a shift will there be now? Because I'm thinking if I'm sitting back in one of the corner, one of the executive offices and looking at it going, we got 1,000 people in this huge piece of capital real estate. What do we really need this for if this is still working? So what kind of rhythm will that be so that we go virtual? And then how much face-to-face social will we need to get that to maintain the relationships?
I think it's going to be a huge effect because these companies they've known about doing things remotely. They have resisted, particularly managers have so resisted allowing their employees to be out of their sight because they can't control them.
Yeah.
So now they have an experience of it. They can figure out how they manage any problems or issues that have come up. And I just think this is going to dramatically change footprints of businesses that are not storefronts, and how we work going forward is going to be huge.
Actually, be careful what you wish for, because this happened in the early 2000s. And I remember the old show Wall Street Week with Louis Rukeyser always had, like for 3 years in a row, he had the CEO of an Indian company called Infosys. And he had all those of American companies come on and say, buy us, we're making so much profit. Instead of hiring American workers for $20 an hour, we're getting Infosys workers for $4 an hour. So be careful what you wish for.
Good point.
Yeah, to monitor, they could actually monitor workers at home if they had everybody logged into Zoom. It would be just like in an office where you're looking out at everybody at their desks, making sure everybody's doing their thing. That's a whole new way of monitoring.
I do have a friend who works for one of the big aerospace and defense firms, a lot of government contracts. And she can do some work from home, but most of her work has to be on premises because they've got this highly secure intranet. And they can't allow access from the outside because it's top secret. I did notice that.
Yeah. Well, cool. I wanted to share something with you guys that was really cool that happened the last couple of days. I did the ACT Fast Track, and I had done this about a month ago for the first time over Zoom. I'd always done it live in the past. It was small audiences for the most part, live, 8 people in a room. And I would always have a different presentation because I would change with the room. Like whoever was there, the conversations went, sideways constantly. And at the end, I kept realizing I could do this better because I wasn't really getting the entirety of the material delivered in a very linear fashion. And so when I did it virtually the first time, which was a month ago, I recorded it. And I told everybody I wasn't going to record it, but I record everything anyway. And as I recorded it, when I got to the end of the 2 days, I'm like, wow, I don't know that I could do any better than that. I had everything was like laid out perfectly in alignment. All the points were hit. Everything was like one to the next to the next. So I kept those recordings. And then when I did the event yesterday and the day before, I didn't tell anybody I was going to do this, but we started the thing. I opened up and I had 8 different recordings because I had 8 sessions. And what I did was when it came time for the session to start, I ran the replay of the recording. And I think there was only a couple of people that noticed. And then during the breaks, I would come in, intervene, and
I did not notice. That was cool.
yeah, and do the Q&A. The first day when I did it, though, I realized a flaw in the system, because when I did the original recordings, it was recording my entire screen, so it had the date stamp down at the bottom, and it
You
had
know, I did wonder about that, John. I was like, why is there two things going on there?
yeah, it had today's date, and then it had the date of the recording, and I was like, and the times matched up perfectly because it was like right in line with the timing, but the date was a month off, and I'm like, oh shit, I have a flaw in the system. So the night after the first day, that night I took the 4 recordings for the second day, and I re-recorded them, and I expanded the video slightly so it got rid of it, clipped off the bottom. So the second day, it was like there was no clue. So I think I got this figured out.
Awesome.
But now I could do that. Like, I love replication. I love doing stuff that I can automate. And now to be able to deliver those courses, I've got all 3 courses recorded now.
I do.
And I could literally set those up to where anybody could come into my system at any time and get the training
On
they
demand.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah, on demand,
And
live.
you could parse them by subject.
Yeah, yeah,
Instead
they
of the
are.
whole thing, parse them by a specific subject.
Yeah, they're perfectly segmented out by the sections of ACT. So somebody could go right into the section that they wanted, and I can have that just totally on demand, which is really cool.
You could even make it so that people could comment on the chat while you're there, and then you could respond back while you're still doing other stuff and just let the recording go.
Yeah, that's what I was doing yesterday. I was able to, because I can't do that when I'm doing live. I can't like be reading chat and looking at the Q&A. I have to do it during the breaks.
Pretty
But
tough.
yesterday I realized, hey, you know, I'm just sitting here, and I was actually very productive the last 2 days. I built 3 funnels while that training was going on. I had my other computer behind me, and I'm over there, and I'm listening in, making sure everything is cool. But I actually built 3 funnels for clients during the 2 days while that live training was going on. So that
That's
was
awesome.
just, yeah,
That's
it was really an incredible experience. I'm like, wow, this just, the whole power of automation just went to a whole new level, because you know how hard it is, how much work and effort goes into putting on an event. You know, there's the prep time, there's the scheduling, there's all that minutia that goes with it. And now to be able to have, I could have a live event every week and just let her rip. I'd show up, during the lunch breaks, do the Q&A, and then afterwards. And it was just a really, really cool feeling to know, wow.
You just have to wear the same shirt.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, I never came on. If you noticed, I never came on actually live in the last 2 days, because look at my hair. I've got Corona hair. I haven't had a haircut in a month. And when I did the last training, I had just gotten my hair cut, so it was all, nice and tightened down. And I'm like, oh man, they're gonna definitely know if I come. So it was just I just came on with voice, and then I came on, in the recording. So it was pretty funny.
I've seen some workshops where they'll send me a link and they'll ask me what times I want. So they'll actually, they'll get to choose 3 times in one day.
Yeah, and what that is, that's the system is called EverWebinar.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And what they do, those are all recorded. Those are all pre-recorded webinars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same people that built Kartra built that system.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the Genesis, digital Genesis platform. And it's called EverWebinar, and it's really cool. what you do is you pre-record the webinar and then you set it up, and it's a whole system. You know, they've got a place where people can opt in, they can choose which webinar they want to see, and they can also have an on-demand one on there too, if you want to see a replay. So you can pick whether you want to replay or you want to see it live at a particular date, which the person selecting, they don't know it's all recorded anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see the same one regardless. But they've got a lot of, it's very feature rich, that program. You can load in like an audience. So you could take like all the top people. You could have Tony Robbins like in there watching your webinar. So the other people could see, oh, wow, my God, you know, Tony Robbins is on here.
What would Tony Robbins have to say about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I did one when it first came out. I was playing around with it, and I put all the top internet marketers on mine. I put Frank Kern in there and Ryan Dice and Perry Belcher and all, you know, all these people. And everybody was like, how did you get those guys all on your webinar? It was pretty classic. But yeah, that's a really cool system. But you could do, I'm thinking now, like, how can I do this with Kartra? And you can do all of this stuff. You can schedule out the replays and everything, because I've done it with my live webinars. Like typically in Kartra, I'll set up a sequence where somebody opts in, they get all the reminder emails, they show up to the live webinar, and then we have at the end of the live webinar, we send them to a link that's basically the order page. And the order page usually has a countdown timer to where they have 24 or 48 hours to get the special bonus. And then the countdown timer, when it hits the end, it automatically forwards you to the next page, which is a lesser bonus for 24 hours. And then it forwards you to the final page, which is the normal pricing. And then we send a follow-up sequence of emails after it's gone to normal pricing with a downsell option, like usually a light version that was not offered previously. We'll send them like a light version. And it's amazing how many sales we pick up over a 1-week time frame when we run those campaigns. Because you get, like, I used to just run the live webinars and I would take what I got. And, you know, I always did okay. But when I compare it to what I'm doing now, it's like I left a boatload of money on the table over all those years of not following up. You know, if you ever talk to anybody that's in sales or anybody that's really successful at running their business, they'll tell you the follow-up is, you know, you're going to make 2, 3, 4, 5 times if you have a good follow-up sequence, or if you have people in your business that are sweeping up the mess behind you. Because I make a big mess. You know, I've had salespeople in the past that come in and, you know, their big concern is they're not going to be busy enough. And I'm like, oh, you have no idea. I can create a shitstorm real fast. It's just, I usually don't, because I don't have a lot of people behind me to clean up the mess. So I love automation because of that, because it leaves no mess behind. It's like you anticipate the whole sequence and you cut it loose and it does its thing. And I love that. I mean, I have done so much more in my business just in the last year with all of the figuring out Kartra and figuring out all the automations and all that stuff I always wanted to do and just never really had the systems in place to do it. You know, I fell in love with the idea of Infusionsoft. Infusionsoft's been around for a long, long time. And every time I would see a presentation, I would want to buy it so badly. And I'd already bought it before and given up on it. And I jumped in and out of it like probably 2 or 3 times. Probably spent in excess of $10,000 on setups and I never got it working. And, you know, I wasn't willing to go the next step and spend another 20 grand to have somebody configure it for me. So, but I've always, over all those years, probably 10 years, I always had the desire to have that in place and just never really got there until I was able to, you know, to do it with Kartra. And now I'm looking back and I'm like, oh my God, how much money did I leave on the table? I probably should have just spent the 20 grand to have it done. But the problem there is, even if I did that, I would have my hands tied because I wouldn't really be in control of it like I can do with Kartra. I can switch gears so fast using Kartra, it's ridiculous. Like I can literally have an idea in the middle of the night, get up, and by the morning I can be sending out an email for an offer. It's really incredible. You know, or I had people, they'll come on and they'll say, hey, I have a guest speaker that fell out. You know, I need somebody this afternoon. Do you have an offer? And I can literally, in an hour, I can take one of my pre-existing funnels, clone it, and I can have an offer in place within an hour. It's like, that's really powerful. Having that kind of access at your fingertips is really cool. And it's not that hard. I mean, I know you guys, if you're not used to it, it looks ominous. It really is a simple system. It is not that difficult once you get your head wrapped around it. It's like anything else. There's always a learning curve. And whenever we look at something we haven't done before, there's always resistance because it's uncomfortable. And, you know, there's a difference between uncomfortable and not able to implement. And that's where I was with Infusionsoft. I literally wasn't able to implement it. It was just beyond my scope of skill set. You know, all the stuff that you had to do and know, and it was out of control. But with this, it's all simple, simplistic systems. And I think I've been told many times that I'm really good at taking complex things and breaking them down and making them easy to understand. And that, to me, that's what Kartra did for me. So for me to take that and translate it down again for everybody else is what I've been able to do. I don't think I've had anybody that has run through the 2-day funnel camp training that came out the other end and said, I can't do this. I haven't had anybody. Laurel, did you do that? Did you say I can't do that?
No. But I have a follow-up for you. You know, the question I asked you about the problem I had with getting the affiliate link.
Oh, yes.
Craig?
Yes.
I found out what happened.
Oh, okay.
What happened is that Craig already has me in my email address in his system, plus, which is fine. But I had jumped on the Kartra 30-day.
Okay.
And canceled it before I went into payment status because I hadn't had time. I just didn't think. I hadn't had time to really absorb it and try it out.
Okay.
And so Kartra had that email address. So when I went in to try to sign up for Craig's affiliate, Kartra says, oh, I already have you. You've already done your trial period. Now you have to sign up for Kartra. So what I did is I went into his affiliate link and signed up with a different email address.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's how I fixed it. But that's what was happening. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't dumb.
No, I didn't think you were crazy. I just didn't quite know what was going on.
Well, fortunately, I've got some information systems background. So I kind of went, all right, why might this happen?
Yeah. Now
I figured it out.
Okay.
Good to know about Kartra.
Yeah, if I would have known that, I might have been able to give you another alternative, because what I've heard from several people is you can restart the trial multiple times on a same account.
Oh, good. I need that.
Yeah,
I need that too.
So if you go back in, like let's say you get Craig's affiliate link again,
right?
And you go back in to do another trial. You just stay logged in with the same email address. And what I've heard, it'll restart the trial again for you.
Okay. All right. Well, I may need to check back with you mechanically on that. But at any rate,
okay. Yeah,
I just wanted to let you know what I found out and what the quick fix was for me.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah.
And what came to my mind is that there's always a way around something. And that's why I was trying to reach you, because I knew you'd figure it out.
Well, very cool.
This seems to me, it's a bit over my head, because before you can use a funnel, you need an email list, and I'm not there yet.
Okay. Well, actually, that's not true. You can use a funnel to build your email list. It's like Kartra is a system, and the system really starts with prospecting. So you don't have to necessarily have a full-blown funnel in place to start building a list. And Kartra is kind of the foundation. Like it'll give you the opt-in boxes where you can actually put those on your site and start building a list, whether you have something to sell yet or not. Like some people don't do their own products. They don't like have anything to sell, but what they do is they serve a particular market or a market segment. So what they do is they offer free material, free training, free whatever, free value to people in that segment. And then people join the list. Just like if you had, let's say you had a YouTube channel and you did, daily or weekly videos on a particular subject matter because you were an expert in that vertical, and people would come subscribe to your YouTube channel. It's the same thing, just doing it through your website, offering value if people subscribe to your list or even download a free guide or free opt-in. So that's like the very foundational basis of a funnel. It starts there. So you don't have to have like the full thing in place to start building your list. That's really kind of the first gateway.
But you need a traffic source, and I'm beginning to question whether search engine is really the place to start your traffic source.
Well, traffic, you're right. You definitely need traffic, but traffic is on the back end. If you don't have like a system in place, like let's say you don't have a website yet that has any kind of calls to action, I would not be spending time and effort to drive traffic to a website like that. You need to have some sort of an offer in place, whether it's to build your list or to make an offer or whatever it is. You really need a plan. You need a strategy. That would be like, if you didn't have that stuff in place, it would be like opening a business and not having a cash register. That would be a very poor strategy, to open a retail shop and not have any way to take money. Have products in there and people could come in and you're putting signs out on the street, hey, come into my store, but I don't have any way to sell you anything. You wouldn't do that in the real world. And I always tell people, don't try and do stuff online that wouldn't work in the real world, because it's not going to work over here either. It's just not. So that whole idea of planning a strategy for how your business is going to run, you have to do that first before you bring people to it. So traffic is always on the end. Don't get caught up thinking that you need traffic. Traffic doesn't solve problems. Traffic is a magnifying glass. Whatever it is, it's going to magnify it. So if you have problems and you bring traffic, it's only going to magnify your problems. If you have a good system, you have a sales system and you can make sales, traffic's going to magnify that. That's when you want traffic. You want to magnify that. So as far as traffic, as far as Google, as far as search engines being good traffic, they are and they aren't. And again, it comes back to the strategy for your business. Google and search engines take time. It's not a fast turn it on and turn it off traffic stream. If you need instant traffic, SEO is not your deal. It's not going to work that way. You can buy search traffic. You can do the pay-per-click stuff. If you find that search is a good audience for you, like people know what you are offering and they're searching for it, search traffic is good. SEO, as far as a method of delivering it, might not be the right delivery mechanism. You might go to pay-per-click where you can turn it on instantly and you can just buy that traffic. Because I don't know if you were on the traffic camp when I did that. I covered traffic in depth for 2 full days. And one of the things that I talked about right in the beginning was the math behind traffic. If you have a mechanism in place that you know your numbers and you can drive X amount of people for X amount of dollars and it converts to X amount of cash in, even if it's a draw, it's still really good to do, because even if you put out $10,000 a month and you got $10,000 worth of sales, there's no profit in that for you. But what you got was you got $10,000 worth of customers. What's that worth? What could you do if you had an additional $10,000 worth of customers in your business? That's in your list. You could easily reach out and make an additional offer, and now you've got pure profit because you had 0 ad spend. So that's how you grow and build a rock solid business. It's not always about making money on the front end. You know, when I talk about the difference between front end and back end sales, front end sales are typically not focused on making high profit. In fact, in a lot of cases, companies will go negative to create a client. They'll go negative for client acquisition. And in the real world, again, I'm back to this whole thing, looking at what works in the real world. That's called a loss leader. How many times have you seen an advertisement in a paper, a newspaper, a TV ad, where they're trying to draw you in? They do it on radio too a lot. They'll draw you in for something that is less than the cost. They're going to lose money on this thing. Like I've seen this I've seen car dealerships do this, where they have Fiesta Day or something, or they have Cinco de Mayo Day. And it's like, come out and get 10-cent tacos. You know, we got a 10-cent taco, or even free tacos. They're going to lose money on that, right? It's going to cost them more than 10 cents to build you a taco, right? That math doesn't work. So why do you do it? It's called a loss leader. What it does, it gets your feet on their floor. Once your feet are on their floor, they know the likely probability of you buying something else is huge. You know, it's like if in the furniture store, they say, oh yeah, we've got 3 pillows for $5. And you're like, oh yeah, I need pillows. And you're like, where am I going to find, 3 pillows for $5? I'm going here on Saturday because I'm going to get those $5 pillows. And you go in, the pillows are in the very back of the store. You got to walk by all the other cool stuff to get to them. And then you get your pillows, and on the way, you're seeing all this other stuff that you need as well. And you don't walk out the door with 3 pillows for $5. You usually have a delivery truck delivering you a living room full of crap for thousands of dollars. It's that initial thing of creating the customer. If you have to go in the hole and invest to buy a customer, customers are worth investing in. I hear all this stuff about, invest in yourself. And yeah, that's a good thing to do, because education in this is everything. Knowing how to run a business, knowing how to make money, knowing how to do all this stuff, that's very important. But there's an end to where that goes. Enough is enough. You need to make money now. So you need to start investing in customers. I see people invest in system after system after system and never make any money with it.
I hate to kind of keep being the devil's advocate here.
No problem.
But what you're saying to me is I have to start by making a product.
Well, you have to start with a plan.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to have your own product. Your plan could be to sell someone else's product, but your plan needs to start with an audience.
Well, the problem is I've done that. I was, an affiliate, And what happens is the affiliate doesn't get the email address of the buyer. So I wound up with an email list of people who, like, for example, I used a quiz. And
Okay.
I wound up with an email list of people who wanted to take a quiz. Whereas what I really need is an email list of people who are willing to take out their credit card and actually buy the product. And I couldn't get that as an affiliate because those people went to the person who owned the product.
Okay. Well, that's just what you did, is you just created a flawed system. That's all. The quiz is an attention grabber. The quiz basically grabs their attention. They take the quiz, but now the quiz should lead to a buildup of demand and desire for something. Like if you take the quiz, you're taking the quiz to find out if you qualify for something, or if something could help you, or something of that nature. I don't know exactly what it was that you were doing, but that's what people use quizzes for, is to get you to opt in to get the results of the quiz. The results of the quiz basically are meant to shine a light on a big problem. It's made to make you aware that you have an issue. You take the quiz and what you learn on the other side is, oh shit, I need help with this. And then you take them through the sales process. At some point, the sales process might refer them to buy something that might be an affiliate offer. But you still continue the process, because if you've gone through the ACT program, every sales process is based on a timeline. And the timeline is where the person is, and the end of the timeline is where they want to be. So if you can plug in, if you can fill that gap with an affiliate product and make a profit, that's great. But at the end of the timeline, we as human beings are never happy. We're never happy with what we've got, whatever it is. You tell me you want $1 million and I hand it to you. What are you going to want? You're going to want 2 million, right? You will not be happy. I don't care what it is. When you get what you think you wanted, you're going to want something else. It's just human nature. So that's where timeline comes in, and you have to anticipate, okay, when I fill this gap for this person, this affiliate product fills the need, what are they going to want next? And then you take them down that path. That's where lifetime value of a customer becomes incredibly profitable. You could take an initial sale of $20 and turn that into thousands of dollars over the lifetime of that prospect, that customer. So it's all about strategy. Business is all about strategy. And if you have a system that didn't get you the outcome, it falls back to the strategy. It's generally never the product. It's generally never any of the other stuff that gets blamed for. I can almost assure you it's going to fall back on the strategy. And look at strategies that work in the real world. I mean, Tony Robbins has almost made this a famous statement. If you want something someone else has, you have to do what they did to get it. Look at systems, look at processes, look at what other people are doing that are doing what you want to do, and replicate them. You have to do what they've done. If you're expecting a result of something that you've never seen work in the real world, that all I can say about that is good luck. Let me know how it works out. But find somebody that it's working for, and just do what they do. Just be careful with that, because a lot of times they can be doing stuff you don't know about. You can see a result, and I see this in the internet marketing space a lot. I see people selling products. They're showing you their big results, and they're showing you this thing that they have for sale, and you buy the thing expecting the results, and you don't realize there was a whole bunch of other stuff they didn't tell you about. And that's kind of false representation of things. That's why in the ACT program, I mean, I go through everything. I go down to the bare base minimum before we even start the game, because I want you to understand what it really takes to be successful. I don't want to sell you a shiny object and just leave you hanging. That's not, I don't like that when it happens to me, and I would never do that to somebody. So that's why I created the whole ACT program to begin with, because I was fed up with seeing people buy stuff over and over and over. And I'm like, come on, guys, let's break the process. Let's do things that make sense. So Callie, yeah.
Oh, it's on a different subject. It's about your offer page on the Kartra.
Okay.
When you have 3 offers on one page, do you create 3 different products, or do you do 3 different price points?
I typically do 3 price points for the same
Okay.
product.
Because I created 3 different products because I started doing the price point, and then I realized, what do you do to shut off the first price point from being available if it stops in 48 hours?
Well, that's a different page. So you can have a different page. Like when I have my first offer page up, the page has a timer on it.
Right.
And that particular page has those buttons for that price point. And then when the timer expires, the timer now redirects you to a new page.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's the new page that has the new price buttons and the new price points on it. It's the same product. It's just different price points. Or it could also be different thank you pages, because with each different price point, you can have a different thank you page. So if you have special bonuses, you can just deliver those bonuses on the thank you page.
Yeah.
But
I
ultimately,
put 3 different offers on one page.
Yes, you can have 3 different offers. Be careful when you have too many different things to choose from, though. Like when I first open my cart, when I do a webinar, typically I'll have 2 offers. The one offer is for the guy that's doing it for himself, and the other offer is for somebody that wants to do it as an agency. So they are really 2 completely different avatars.
Mm-hmm.
So I know in my webinars, I've got both those guys in there. Mm-hmm. So, I always tell you guys, you have to focus on one. Well, when you're doing a live event, you don't have that luxury. So you have to figure out, okay, who's in my audience? Do I have 2? And I know I have 2 distinct segments. So when I deliver my presentation, I make sure that I talk to both of them. And I don't try and mix them. I truly, you can tell when I shift gears, you can tell who I'm talking to, because I call them out. I say, I would be in the middle of the webinar and I'd be showing them how the thing works. And then I will say something like this. I'll say, now for those of you who are agency owners and you want to do this for other people and you want to make money with this, we have an agency version. When we get to the checkout page, I'll show you, I have a special offer for you guys. So I'm just like in the presentation, I'm just taking a few seconds out of there, or a few minutes, to just talk specifically to one group. The other group doesn't take offense to that. They just sit there and they listen in. It's interesting, but it's not for them. And then I come back and I talk to them, because I know the baseline covers everyone. But I do know I have to address specifically the 2 groups in my audience. And that's why I'll have the 2 offers on the one page, because I don't have the luxury of separating them in a webinar. Just like if I was in a live event, I was on stage, and I know I've got 2 sections of the audience, I will speak to both of them. And then when I make my offer, I will say, for those of you that are doing this for yourself, check this box. This is for you. And for those of you that want to make money with this and scale this up and have an incredible value in your agency, check the agency box, because that's going to be for you. So it's
the other thing is when you send them a link to the page with the offer, and then you create a new page with a new link with a new offer, what if they continue to click on the old link? Do you just
can't, because it forwards them. When the timer runs out, they can't get to that page anymore. The timer won't allow it. They can load the page, but the timer just forwards them to the new page.
Oh, okay. So
So
do you
once
connect
the timer's up, that page disappears.
Do you connect the 2 pages?
The timer does.
Oh,
Like
oh.
when you build your original page inside Kartra, you can load a timer onto the page, and when you're configuring the timer, you give it a date when the timer expires, and then you can say redirect. When timer hits 0, check the little box to redirect, and then you give it the page you want to redirect to. It's really simple. Really,
that's
really easy to
awesome.
do. Yeah, and then literally that page disappears. It's no longer available. When somebody goes to the page with the timer that's expired, it just forwards you to the new page.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really, really cool. Really a
Okay.
powerful deal.
And you can do that after. Like, I have a timer that's going to run out, I think, tomorrow night. So if I just create the new page and then go to the timer and redirect it now.
What I do is I literally clone the same page.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm changing is I'm just changing the price point.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So I clone the page. I just redirect to the clone, go into the clone page and change the prices. It just takes minutes to do it.
You know, I have to say, when I first started Kartra, I was like, oh my God, you saw me.
Yeah.
But now that I feel like my brain has literally reshuffled itself, because now when you learn a system of how things go, your synapses are literally changing, because you now know what A connects to this and that connects to that. Because before, I mean, I had no idea.
It's just like, you know, this process has been going on since the time you were born.
Yeah.
You know, when you were born, looking at the world of, God, how are these people walking around? Right? It's overwhelming. They're like, I could never do that. I don't have that skill set. But then you crawl. You know, well, first you roll. You know, you just kind of figure, I can move my head. You know, and then after you figure that, oh, okay, I don't have to think about that anymore. And then once you figure out how to roll, and then you figure out how to sit up, and once you do those, it's, you know, they say like riding a bike, you'll never forget. It's just like riding a bike. You can go back, and that muscle memory is created, and it never goes away. This is the same thing. When you learn how to do one little piece in Kartra, now you catalog that back. You never have to think about it again. It's just there. It's a skill level, and you just advance up layer after layer after layer. It's called unconscious competency.
Oh yeah, I like that model.
That's exactly what it is. Every time you learn a new thing, even a little micro thing, we don't recognize that. You know, we don't applaud that in ourselves, but it's happening every day. I don't think it's possible for you to go through a day on Earth and not learn something. I don't think it's possible unless you're in a coma. You know, we are learning things every day. I don't care who you are or what level you're at. Just by getting up and walking through the world, you're going to learn things.
Hey, John.
I don't see how you couldn't. Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I have a related question. If I change the price of one of my products, but people have already bought it, and say it's a recurring fee, if I change it on the product and I change it on the order page, is it going to change how much it's charging the people that are already existing?
I haven't tested that to know that the theory is correct. My assumption is that it would.
Yeah,
but I don't know that for sure.
I can just add a new price point and then change the page to display the new price point.
Exactly. That's all you. Okay. That's all you have to do. Now I can tell you how you can confirm it. I can also tell you it's not going to change if they're in PayPal, because you cannot change a PayPal subscription. The user is the only one that can change a PayPal subscription.
Oh, okay.
But how you could confirm in a credit card, in fact, thinking about the system, thinking about the process, I don't think it is going to change your recurring payments. And you can confirm that if you change it and then let it run out for a month, so things recycle, like the last bill is paid and the next one is generated, you can go into your users in Kartra and you can look at their transactions And you can see, though, there's a panel that comes up that has next bill date and the price. And you can confirm it right there. You can
Okay, not wait for them to get overcharged.
Correct. Yeah, you'll be able to see
Right.
what price point they're at. And when I think about that, when I think that through, I don't think it's going to change those.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll make sure though.
I'm pretty sure it's not. And I can tell you, in the same kind of line of things, when you're working with affiliates, when I first started doing a particular affiliate program with SitePop, I wasn't paying the affiliates near as much as I am now. In fact, some of them were not getting recurring payments on the back end. I was just paying them the upfront fees, and I wasn't paying them on recurring. So I know for a fact that those people that bought under that affiliate rule, the rule didn't change when I added recurring payments onto it.
Okay.
So that's another thing that makes me believe that it's not going to change things once they're in play.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, John. Coming back to what you were saying about list building,
Uh-huh.
where SEO is a longer play, what are some of the strategies or tactics that are better for quicker list building?
Sure. Any kind of paid traffic is going to be quick traffic. SEO is not, it costs you money because SEO is basically time to do it. And I don't want to discourage anyone from SEO, because I think SEO should be just a long-term play. That's just something you should just do when you build a site. Pay attention to the title tags. It's just common sense, and you will get rewarded for it. It will just be in the long run. But if you need traffic today, you need to buy it. It just comes down to that. And you can buy traffic just like going to the store. I mean, there's tons of traffic sources. If search traffic is your thing, if people are searching and you know they're there and they're looking, you can just go buy it from Bing, from Google, from Yahoo, any search engine out there. You can go and buy their traffic on demand. You could literally set up a campaign. Most of them have to verify the campaign, so it's not instant. It might be, they might verify it within 24 hours and then your ad's approved and now you can run it.
But it's days rather than months.
Yeah, within a day, certainly you could be pouring traffic onto your sites, for sure.
Okay.
Now, as far as what traffic to buy, that's a whole different animal there. You need to match up your traffic source with your audience. Like, let's say if your audience is, they're watching how-to videos or whatever, you should be buying traffic from YouTube. You should be buying YouTube video ads. If your audience is not aware, let's say they're not searching, they're not aware of the problem. They have the problem, but they're not looking for an answer, or, they're not in that category of search. Then you have to figure out where they are. If they're an older audience, they're probably on Facebook. The young audience doesn't like Facebook. The kids don't like it because they don't like to be monitored by the parents. So you're not going to find the kids on there. But if your audience is, 30 and up, for sure, most of them are going to be on Facebook. And you can target them specifically. This is the thing with traffic you have to be very careful of, because traffic costs money. And when I talk about traffic sources, I say you do not want expensive traffic. You don't want to run expensive ads. Ads should be looked at as, to break even, or, even slightly negative, but you don't want ads where they don't convert at all, because that's just expensive. You can't afford expensive with ads. There's traffic you can buy that's the right traffic for the right offer, and you can come out ahead with that. You can break even. Maybe you go a little bit in the hole, but you're acquiring customers. If your ad spend is not acquiring customers, something's wrong. You need to stop the madness. But there's Pinterest, there's a ton of traffic sources there's also there's affiliate sources. Like one of my favorite traffic sources, and I've made, if you look at all of my income opportunity over the last 20 years, the majority of it has come from this, my favorite traffic channel, which goes back to what works in the real world, word of mouth, right? Ask most businesses, where do you get most of your customers? They'll say word of mouth, right? That's a really good model. It's worked for a very long time. So for me, I look at that as, how do I convert that? How do I do that in the digital world? And it's referrals. It's affiliate offers. It's getting people to refer me to their audience. It's called influencer marketing. Find an influencer that has your base of traffic in their funnel, you know, on their list, and go to them and say, hey, I have an idea. You have an audience. I have something that would benefit them. I can benefit you if you introduce me to your audience and they buy from me. I will give you a cut of it. That's a win-win-win all the way around. The audience gets good stuff. They get what they came for. The guy that brings it to them seems like a hero because he's introducing, he's making the connection, and he's putting money in his pocket. And you're getting customers at no cost, no upfront cost. You pay him the referral commission, obviously, but you have no money out. You have no outlay to make that happen. You can do that for free. You can do that with, if you had no money and you had no ability to get money, you can find an influencer. You can make money. So, you know, they say it takes money to make money. I've found ways it doesn't take money to make money. And that's one of them. And like I said, that is probably my favorite traffic source of all time. I've done a lot of different traffic sources. I've got a lot of customers that don't take that advice. They don't want to do that. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if maybe they're just introverted. They don't want to create those relationships. They would prefer to just buy the traffic, and that's fine too. But for me, you know, I don't want to say negatively, but I'm kind of a penny pincher. You know, I'm fairly frugal in the way I run things. I will spend money like it's going out of style if I can see it's going to bring money back. I am an investor in all kinds of things. If I see opportunity to put money in and get money back, yeah, I'll spend money like it's water. But outside of that, in general life, I am a bargain shopper. I was taught at a very young age to negotiate. I was taught that on the beaches of Mexico. If you see something you want, you can negotiate for it and you can get it for a fraction of the original price offered. So I just grew up that way. So I'm, you know, when I say that I'm frugal and a penny pincher, that I am on all aspects. If I'm going to buy something, I'm going to buy it at the right price. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a car, it could be a boat, it could be a computer. Like I'm shopping for boats right now, and I'm probably a real pain in the ass for the boat brokers, because I'm going to get, I can guarantee you, I'm going to get probably a $4 or $5 million boat for under $1 million. And it's going to happen. I'm looking at one right now. It's just slightly over $1 million. It's a $5 million boat. It is unbelievable. And I can't pull the trigger on it because I can't fly to Florida right now.
Okay, can we have a party on the boat?
Absolutely, that's the whole idea. And the idea of it too is, I think if I hold out, if I wait a little bit longer, I don't know if you guys realize, but America's on sale right now. And it's going to get nothing but better if you're in the market to buy things.
That's a great point. Yeah, here in the car market, I was just saying, Callie, that we need to sell our car quickly because it's going to fall out completely this summer. Yeah.
If you guys are in the market for buying stuff, I mean, you're about to get an incredible opportunity. It's like crazy what's going on out in the world. Let's see here.
I really do love that affiliate program where you give someone a link, and if they buy their friend buys something from that link in a year, then it doesn't matter when.
Yeah, that's just the deal. I'll show you guys. Show you what show you what I'm looking at here. Oh, let me get that. Look at this thing. $1,025,000. That's what you can get right now.
Nice.
Look at that thing. That's a jacuzzi up there. That's a boat that drives right up in the back of the thing.
You need a helipad.
It's a 105-foot boat for $1 million. So that's what I got my eye on right now.
Awesome.
So pretty.
We were on an 800-foot yacht that Larry Silverstein, he had a full crew, and it was a trip.
Yeah.
But
800 foot, that's a ship.
That was a trip.
That's like a cruise ship.
The captain's quarters were literally like 5 times the size of a pilot's thing.
I don't think it was 800
that ship,
but it was a big boat.
Yeah.
But like, John, yours is a ship too.
Oh yeah. But like a year ago, I've been in boats my whole life. The last boat I had was a 65-foot boat. And every time you can't ever go back, you have to go up. Can
you drive that yourself? Do you drive that yourself?
Yeah.
Cool.
So in the boating world, people that are into that, you're always moving up, never back. And that, a year ago when I started like the thought process, okay, I'm getting ready to get back into this, I wasn't looking at boats like that because they were $5 to $10 million. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not spending $5 to $10 million for a boat. That ain't happening. Like I said, I'm too frugal for something like that. But when I see something like that now and you can get it for $1 million, it's like, oh, this brings a whole new realm in. I could see that.
You could run your funnel camps on the ship.
That's the whole idea.
Sweet.
That's why I want a boat like that. Remember, I usually do these things with like 8 to 10 people.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
That's the right size boat to take 8 to 10 people out for the weekend and do a funnel camp. That's my whole idea. And all of my internet marketer friends, they will charter the boat to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So the boat it will be a play toy part-time, but it will be a money-making venture.
Yeah, an Airbnb on the water.
Yeah, that boat it will have a full crew and it will be a working boat. It will be making money. So, and when I can pick it up for $1 million, I can make the numbers work. I can actually make that boat make money at $1 million. At 5 million, I can't. At 5 million, it's vanity. It's like, it's ego and vanity, and I will take a beating. But at $1 million, I can have a really cool toy that makes me money. So cool stuff. And Jeff, you can do adventure CEO on that thing.
I was sitting here taking notes and planning on a follow-up conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
That thing will be in the future here. I just don't know how far out, but
I was thinking, like maybe a year from this fall when the fishing season gets hot.
Mm-hmm. I saw an opportunity that I still to this day kick myself in, and I kick myself in a good way and a bad way. But back in the last big market crash, there was a guy in San Diego, and he had a manufacturing business. He was making money hand over fist. He had a custom made sport fisher, and I think he spent $14 million on it to have it built. It was unbelievable. And he paid cash for it. He didn't have any leverage against it. So when the market crashed and everything went upside down, that was money gone. If he would have had it bank financed, he could have just given it back to the bank, but he didn't have that option. He had no leverage against it. So that $14 million that he dumped into that boat, he lost it. He couldn't afford to keep the boat. The boat was paid for. There's no boat payments, but he couldn't afford the ongoing maintenance to keep the boat. So he put it up for sale for 10 million, and then 9, and then 8. It got down to $1 million, and there was no buyers. He sold the boat for $250,000.
What the heck?
Yeah, and I swear I was about, when I saw that, I was about to get in my car and drive to San Diego.
Yeah, that's like pass the hat, let's go.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Oh my God.
And
because the slip fees are probably, for that, it's going to be probably 10,000 a month.
yeah, not quite that much, but but that is one thing that I've known my whole life is it's not the price of the boat, it's the cost to keep her.
Yeah. For
And,
a 30,000, I mean, for a 300 foot, I mean, a 32 inch is
As
like
someone I
5,000.
know who owns a private jet, when I said, well, how much does it cost to fly, to fill it up with gas?
yeah.
And he said, if you have to ask how much it costs to fill it up with gas, you definitely can't afford it.
Yeah. Well, that boat that I just showed you, the fuel tank's 5,400 gallons.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the fuel it holds.
So do you think we're going to see a lot of that kind of dynamic and stuff going on to the market for sale in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, it's already happening.
Okay.
Boat prices are dropping like crazy.
But it'll go way past boats, and I mean, it'll start with luxury items, but it seems like a lot of things are going to be a buyer's market.
Yeah, the luxury items are going to take the hardest hit for sure. So if you're in the market for a luxury item, something like that, if you want a plane, a boat, a exotic car, a mansion, if you're looking for something that is on the high ends of the scale, save your pennies right now. Get ready. Those opportunities are right around the corner, I think.
But I'm seeing some gaps from our other conversation the other day. I'm seeing some gaps in that whole process where there's going to be opportunities for entrepreneurs to step in and help facilitate. Maybe not be directly involved in one side of the transaction or another, but there's a lot of roles that we can play there and get a cut of the transaction in a sense.
Yeah. See, what I'm already thinking ahead of stuff like that. Like, let's say there's no buyer for that boat, and let's say I don't want to put $1 million out into it. If I went to that owner and said, look, I'd be interested in buying this boat if you'll finance it for me, and I'll take all the payments off your hands. I'll take over the operation of the boat and make payments to you. They're liable to do it. There's going to be a lot of opportunity if you're, if you just put your thinking cap on and see how you can solve problems for people.
Yeah,
because their problem is a bleed. When they have a big toy like that, and they have got it in their head, okay, I'm done with this toy. Every second that it stays on the market costs them money. That's a big pain. And as entrepreneurs and business owners, we're in business to solve and rid people of pain. So there's a lot of money in getting rid of people's pain. So cool stuff. All right. Anybody else got anything you want me to address here before we wrap up?
Hey, John. I'll ask you a question. How are you?
Yeah, this was actually a really fun call. This was
Yeah. Well, and I just anytime I can listen and learn from you, I love it. So, I had a question about that animated video that I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, the Doodly videos.
Yeah. That guy, I sent him what I needed, and he sent me a quote. It's like over $1,000.
Yeah.
And that's with me providing the music and the voiceover. And I'm like, no, I know I can go on like Doodly or Animator or one of these,
Yeah.
and my son can knock it out because he's like he's a music producer anyway, so he can do that. And video wise, you know, he won't have any problem doing it. But did you like recommend a program for that kind of thing?
Yeah. Did you see the one that I did on the Site Pop site?
I did, and it was just the hand,
Yeah.
so I wasn't sure if there were other options.
Well, with Doodly, that's what it is. It's just the hand. Basically, it's a cartoon video. It's drawing out a cartoon. That's what the Doodly software is. If you want the software, go on to Facebook and search for Doodly, and then follow them, like them and follow them, and they'll hit you with an ad that'll give you a lifetime option to buy that software for like $69.
Okay.
One-time fee. And I think their normal thing is like $47 a month.
Okay.
But they'll give you, if you like them and follow them on Facebook, you'll see an ad very soon. They'll hit you with a retargeting ad that'll offer you a lifetime version of the software. I think it's like $67 or $69, something like that.
Okay.
And I use that to do that. All you do is you just write up a script in Word for Windows or a text pad, and you import the script, and then it does its thing just like that. And then what I did was I came back and I took the video that it produced and I put it into Camtasia, and I did the voiceover for it. And I was able, in Camtasia, I was able to slow it down a little bit so it matched my voice. And, you know, matched everything up good. I think I put intros and exits on it and put a little light music behind it. But really easy to do with that. There's another program, that's Doodly. There's another program very similar that's called Toonly. Toonly. Same thing. If you follow them on Facebook, they'll give you an offer to buy the program for lifetime for very inexpensive. And Toonly it's the same type thing, but it's much more involved. It's like working with Photoshop. You've got layers and you're layering all these things. They give you libraries of all the animations and stuff. It's a little more than I wanted to bite off and chew. I bought the program thinking I was going to do it, and then I went through the tutorial videos and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not up for this kind of learning curve right now.
Right. Well, and that's where I am, and I'm like, you know, it's a 2-minute thing. I want somebody to just do it. I know my son can do it if he would just
if the hand,
you know, when it has to do with mom, he's not like interested in doing it, but
if the hand thing works for you, just like handwriting it out, that Doodly is awesome. And it's super easy. It is literally, I mean, you don't need any skill set whatsoever to use that.
I'll look at it, because like my vision was, you know, the crazy busy entrepreneur with, you know, all this stuff piling up, and then, you know, VIP swoops in, and then all the little, you know, we help with this, and this. And then, you know, the happy entrepreneur at the end, who's relaxed and making tons of money. So
yeah. See, Toonly can do that.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, and you might be able to find somebody in Fiverr that does Toonly stuff.
Okay.
And, you know, you can have them just do the basic thing, and then, you know, you could add stuff in yourself, or, you know, whatever you want to do. You could add your background music and what have you. Okay,
cool. Good. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've wanted to do one for so long, but now, you know, I have this opportunity to, you know, be a sponsor. So it's like, and you have 2 minutes. I'm like, this is it. I'm getting it done.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right. Anybody else before we wrap up?
Hey, John.
Yeah, go ahead, Gwen.
I've got another Kartra button issue.
A Kartra button issue. Okay.
Yeah, I had put, I've got one page pretty much done, but I put the button originally to go to another Kartra page, and I actually now want it to go to a pop-up opt-in. So I'm changing it in, putting it as a pop-up opt-in, hitting apply, and hitting done when it pops up the right one. But it's not holding the change even after I'm hitting like save my progress or even trying to publish it back. It's going back to the page. And I'm wondering if I'm missing a step somewhere that's getting it to hold, or if
Can you share the screen and show me what's going on?
yes.
We should be able to figure that one out.
Let me just get my main screen shared here, and I'll just hold it up
Every once in a while, there's these little idiosyncrasies within Kartra.
Yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I gotta get it on the right one here. And this is actually for your crowd targeting.
Oh, cool.
That's my short page. So the long page with the question I had last week actually got fixed and is working.
Okay.
So now I've got the short page. Come on, work. And my internet's slow. Okay, so I get to the button.
Okay, so edit the button there.
I go to link. I was trying to get it to the pop-in opt-in form.
Okay.
I went to that. That's the one I want. I can hit edit here or whatever. I gotta move.
Okay. Did you hit the done button at the top of that page?
I did, right here. I hit done and I hit apply, and this time I forgot to hit apply, but there's the done.
Yeah, so you have to hit the done button.
If I come back here, it's linked to the other Kartra page.
Okay.
So I can come here.
I think there's an apply button at the bottom of that too.
Yeah, I think
that you can't
There
see.
is.
You have to scroll
edit.
down.
Like I have to edit it, then I can hit apply. And then I can come up and hit done.
Okay, well that was not the same done that Callie was talking about.
Okay, what I missed.
So go back again. Go back and edit the button again.
Okay. Okay, so back to edit, link, pop up,
Okay, so
edit.
and then scroll to
This is the crowd targeting one.
yeah, not
Okay,
there.
go back one more time, because
Yeah,
there's an apply button when you actually click on the opt-in. You have to scroll down and click apply, I think.
Okay, so back one step from here. We come back here to edit.
Yeah, not there. Back.
Not there, back one more step.
Yeah, hit the done.
Start over.
Actually, I think it might forward you as soon as you click that button. I think it might forward you to that page. So
here I just have all of this.
Scroll down to the bottom and make sure there's not an apply on this thing. That's what you were talking about, Callie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
It's so weird that it has all those images underneath those. I never saw that.
Okay, yeah,
okay, so I
that's
click that, and then it pops up.
I can edit. See, this is what the only place I saw apply was when I actually edit this.
okay. Yeah, that's really.
Then I hit apply. I think I should probably call their customer service and see if I can get some help on.
Well, what I would just do is just create a new button. There's probably something.
Actually, I don't think she clicked save. Up on the actions, see where it says actions? You didn't actually save it there. I didn't see.
I didn't do it yet this round, but I have tried that in the past. It didn't do anything either.
Yeah. I've just seen weird stuff, like sometimes there's things that just won't update for some reason. And with the buttons, it might be when you attach the button to something, it might not let you change the modality of the button.
Okay.
So
maybe if publishing live, you have to publish it live, not just save.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. It just wasn't updating the button. Just try adding another button and let's see.
You think I could clone the button, or do I need to recreate the button?
I would recreate the button. Just go over to components.
Okay. Check one thing real quick, see if this works.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. If that was what it was showing, I think you.
Yeah.
I don't see that panning out for you.
Components.
Yeah, components and buttons, and then just let's drag another one in there.
Let's see, it's just a plain square button.
And then just go up to the link and let's just try the link and just see if that works, because you can configure, you can do all the button configurations, no problem. So now pop the opt-in form.
And that's going to make me recreate the opt-in form, it looks like. That one.
Okay, so slide that over. Okay, and then connect that to your form.
And John, now I understand what you mean about saving. Even if the phone doesn't ring, if you're sitting at your computer doing a bunch of stuff and it takes you longer than, because you keep creating, I literally created an entire page. It was done. I went to hit save and it totally disappeared.
Oh, geez.
Oh no.
I was,
yeah,
but you know what?
You can save these.
Practice.
Yeah, you can save these, Gwen, if you go to the little red gear over there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a heart under there. See the heart?
Oh, okay.
You can save this section as a favorite, and then next time that will show up in your stuff. So if you get this configured the way you want it, you use this form over and over, you can just save it as a favorite.
Okay, maybe I should go to my other page and save that one as a favorite and grab it for here.
You could do that, sure.
Okay, I will try that.
I think that's really the quick answer for you is the button was corrupt. You just needed a new button.
Okay, so I was thinking I'm missing something.
Yeah, no, I think sometimes components, there's a lot of programming and stuff behind this that none of us really understand. And sometimes things are not, they seem like they're editable, but they're just not for some reason. So if you're ever wrestling with a component, just bring a new one in and try it. And that'll probably 9 out of 10 times, or probably 99 out of 100 times, that'll fix it for you.
Okay, I can try that too. It's just
I'm fairly,
I was missing
I'm fairly impatient with stuff. If I wrestle with something very long, I try a new route. And usually that's what I found is there was just something wrong with the button and you're trying to figure out something that's unfigurable.
Okay. That could be it. So thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Callie.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else? Okay.
Learning. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys for bringing all this stuff on here. That's awesome. I'm waiting to find something I can't figure out. I know somebody will bring me something eventually.
John?
Yeah, go ahead, Gregory.
Okay, this is a shift the gear of topic. When you fly to Florida, if well you are, when you get to go see the Rogue, I'll pay my own ticket and my own accommodations. I'll go with you.
You want to go check that thing out, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm the first mate, am I? I'm the honored first mate. It's my job to swab the deck and make sure the little dinghy is ready to roll and we got gas in the tanks.
Well, if we get another month or two into this this whole lockdown, there might be stuff a lot closer to home.
True. Or they'll drop the price to 500,000.
Yeah, then I might not care. I might get on the plane anyway.
So
keep me informed, Captain.
Are you thinking about living there too, as well, in the future?
No, I wouldn't live there.
Florida?
Like I said,
on your boat.
No, it'll be a working boat. You
can always drive.
Yeah, it will move though. I'll move it from location to location and then go in and have my time to play with it and then send it back to work.
Hey, come up to Portland.
Yeah. That's the kind of boat that that would be the next 20 years just hopping around the world, going from place to place, and the crew would be out there just making it happen, making money for me. So,
where is the boat in Florida, John?
Right now I believe it's in Fort Lauderdale. So
nice visit.
They actually had a boat show this last week, electronic. And they were doing like walkthroughs of boats and, doing all the stuff on Zoom. It was really fascinating. And that whole industry is like, they're not sure what's going on and what's going to happen. It's a lot of evil coming down the pipe, and some of us might be able to take advantage of that.
Oh, I'm in the market for a new car, and my wife has been pushing on me to get a showroom car, and I'm going like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. She says, I want a brand new car for your last car, because I'm 73 in November, and I don't know how much longer they're gonna let me keep driving.
You are a young man.
I don't think you got any worries in the near future there, Gregory.
Greg, I thought you were at least 20 years younger. You just floored me by saying that.
Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. Well, Victor Trading's growing.
Awesome.
Got more claim, got more proof.
That's really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to. Did you see the mock-up that I sent you, the site mock-up?
Unfortunately, no. I'm gonna have to go dig in my emails.
Okay.
I get so wrapped up in doing studies and coaching others and keeping an eye on the accounts. I had a nice exit on USO, 8,000 on account 1. That's the one I was mentioned yesterday.
Yeah, I had my designer do a mock-up for your site, and
okay.
You can check it out, see what you
think.
All
right, I'll jump on it then and get to it. This is my busy day today.
Sweet.
Oh, we got Craig Duswell at 4.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be going from one to the next on these things.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see you there.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that should do it for today. Have a great weekend, and for those of you that are going to be on Craig's, I'll probably see you on there.
Yeah. See you soon.
Okay. Have a great week, and we will talk to you next week.